No one told you life was gonna be this way. Your job's a joke, you broke. Your love life's the other way. It's like you're always stuck in second gear. When it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year. But I'll be there for you. When the rain starts to fall, I'll be there for you. Like a big man, I'll be there for you. 'Cause you're there for me too.
It's time once again to talk about an old subject matter I really grow tired of: the treatment of dogs and cats in media. Lately, it seems dogs continue to get even more films made after them, or I can't tell you how many I've noticed on DVD shelves, and all while likely being the same. It's about a good dog doing something silly or wacky because children, while cats either get nothing or get treated like the bad guys. Which is why I'll be very upset if it turns out the cat people in Xenoblade Chronicles X aren't playable. I'll still get it, but yeah. But for the time being, we're going back into my childhood to look at one of the first Don Bluth movies I recall ever seeing: All Dogs Go to Heaven. The last of the 80s Don Bluth movies. I remember liking it a lot as a kid, but thinking about it, and an issue that its sequel would have, I'm beginning to wonder if the first movie is as good as I remember it, especially since this is before the year that Don Bluth's quality would decline. So I ask this: just how badly do they abuse the good dog trope in a movie whose title says it all? And by how much would this signify the start of not so good writing? Let's find out. We open underground of all places, as we see one dog, Itchy, trying to free another dog / main character, Charlie. Both are played by the late Dom DeLuise and still active Burt Reynolds, respectively, with Dom's character once again being a comedic sidekick whose gimmick is part of his namesake. Apparently, the only thing in between them is a pipe, so just dig around it. And the solution is to use a jackhammer?
Oh, whoa!
Jeez, I know they're dogs, but you're telling me you don't have any tranquilizer darts? What's that? Those weren't invented yet. But what year is this movie in? Oh, okay. Proceed.
Are you okay? You're such a grouch.
Why is this movie called that again? I mean, clearly these dogs are no different from our standards of living. They have their casinos, their own rat races, literally. They have their own currency, which consists of bones and meat. They have corrupt brokers, and they have drunks. I'd say their odds of getting into heaven are about the same as us, 50-50, with it shifting depending on personal decisions. Charlie B. Barkin, yes, really, is one of the owners of this casino and is apparently very well liked amongst the casino goers, since in the time he was gone, the casino hasn't been running too well for them. The solution to this? Song sequence!
Why settle for a couple of bones when you can have the whole bank?
Hey, Charlie! Charlie, look! You hit the jackpot! Attaboy, Charlie! I'm proud of you! Charlie, tell him!
Oh, you can't keep a good dog down.
No, sir.
No, you can't keep a good dog down. I've seen pain and hurt.
That's right.
I've eaten dirt.
That's true.
It's hard to buy, but even I've been jilted by a skirt.
Well, I'd say he's singing, but it's more like them bar songs where you just try to sing, but it just seems like talking. Well, either way, it's a pretty fun sequence as we learn that despite being a mixed breed of dog, he was able to overcome hardship and make it to the position he's in now. A successful casino owner,
A bit of Siam.
and possibly racist, who's not letting anyone put him down. With that, and after Itchy gets separated via convenient sliding door, Charlie goes to confront his partner, Carface, voiced by the late Vic Tayback. Now, just listen to some of his dialogue for a moment.
Do not wish that I should share 50% of the business with my partner, Charlie.
You want that I should go squeeze his head with the pliers?
Killer. That is no way to treat an old friend. Friends must be handled in a friendly and business-like way.
That there is the work of a true dog mobster. Even if it's just for this movie, Carface is one of the finer examples of an antagonistic dog. His voice fits well with his mafia-like appearance, and his words are what I would expect from someone of his caliber. If only we had more dog characters like him. Ruthless, backstabbing, intimidating, and maybe a little funny.
Autograph. Be happy, my chappy.
As long as you're not like that guy. Essentially, Carface is greedy and wants to do whatever it takes to ensure he keeps his profits, since Charlie wants to add more to their casino. But that's not the interesting part. Itchy, aside from learning that Charlie is to be killed off later, overhears of some monster that Carface has. Ooh, a monster? And it's not related to killing Charlie either? Something must be up. But for now, Carface initiates his plan of getting Charlie drunk off his high horse with a party celebrating their separation, taking him to the docks, and pushing a car into him, mafia style.
Killer, shut up. Shut up. Shut up!
Can't keep a good dog down.
Don Bluth, running over your childhood since 1982. Of course, it'd be too soon for the movie to end, because if you thought the title of this movie was just a metaphor like Angels with Filthy Souls, well, it wouldn't be that simple, since now we see Charlie going down the magic portal into that wonderful place atheists say doesn't exist, heaven.
Where am I?
This is the Great Hall of Judgment.
Judgment?
Honestly, I was expecting death to show up, but I guess even heaven needs to have a proper representative. In this movie, this dog had no name, but in the sequel, she's called Annabelle, so I'll go with that. And what she has to say is where I question Don's use of the dog tropes.
Oh, not to worry, Charlie. You'll go to heaven. All dogs go to heaven because, unlike people, dogs are naturally good and loyal and kind.
1. Then what's the point of going to judgment? 2. Really? We're going with that bit of logic? Because yeah, all dogs are naturally good, which is why we just saw one kill another dog like 2 minutes ago. And you can't exactly say animals are neither good or evil like in reality. I mean, there could be exceptions since we see lambs and a lion here. But so far, the dogs are the only ones who behave on the level of humans, to where that all go to heaven thing would be null and void if it turns out that dog is evil. You even have his profile down as bad dog and list all the things worth going to hell for, yet you're still letting him in. By saying this, you make it seem like while everyone's chances vary, dogs will get in no matter what. And why is that?
Dogs are naturally good and loyal and kind.
Jeez, just when I thought dogs were pandered enough, whoever wrote this just cemented this trope as a foundation for the future of annoying dog tropes. Well, despite that bit of thinking, this isn't that bad of a scene as she shows him just how perfect being here is, with Charlie eventually realizing, oh crap, I'm dead! Some bits are funny, like his family history and him in denial. It's pretty understandable, but if it were anyone else, I'd probably just be happy I didn't go to the other place to begin with. Now, aside from storybook-based life records, it seems one's life force is represented through clocks, and his has stopped.
Can't you just wind it up or something?
And send you back? Oh, no. No one's ever allowed to go back.
Take note, this will be important later. I do like this next sequence though, as while it's apparent that Heaven is so all-knowing that Charlie will try to outwit them anyway, they do share a nice little song together.
I need Brazil, the throb, the thrill. I've never been there, but someday I will. Adventure and danger, love from a stranger. Let me be surprised. Today there's sun, they said there'd be snow. When all's said and done, it's fun not to know. What keeps my heart humming is guessing what's coming. Let me be surprised.
This is one of the few songs in the movie I really like. The music is relaxing, the lyrics decent as Charlie expresses interest in things he wants to do with his life, and the animation is superb as always. When Don Bluth has a song sequence done right, it shows, and I think this one does it well. But, of course...
Surprise!
Now that's what I call a time warp! What? So since Charlie broke the big rule of resurrecting yourself, he now has to wear his shame since that's the only indication of his life force. Still, being alive means he can get back at Carface by first going to... get his friend that practically saw him die.
But I saw the car and the river and your lifeless body flying through the air. Oh,
Itchy, what can I say? It wasn't my time.
I'm so happy to see you, Charlie. You know how much I mixed you.
Itchy tries to convince him that they should just lay low, but ends up mentioning about the monster in the basement. Interested, Charlie sneaks into said basement to see exactly what this monster is.
Now there is your monster.
Well, I'll be.
Aw, she's adorable! This is Anne-Marie, voiced by Judith Barcy, who had earlier voiced Ducky in the Land Before Time movie. Let me just say, she makes a remarkable performance for her age, having already starred in a bunch of other movies before this one. Which is why it sucks that she was murdered before this movie was released. Very sad, indeed. Anne-Marie is one of those child characters who has the magic ability to talk to animals. And the reason she's capable of this magnificent ability is because... More importantly, why does Carface keep this little girl on hand? Because animal speech aside, she's so damn cute and kind that no animal can resist telling her things.
Longtail, how are you today? Fine, thank you. Will you be in the race tonight? A sore foot? You shouldn't run. And Twizzle has a cold? She should drink soup. Oh, Squad Car has the flu, oh my.
Now this seems to be one of those movies where animals can only understand their own species. So the audience can assume that what is heard from other animals can only be heard by certain characters. Because Anne-Marie is a universal translator, she can pretty much sweet talk into knowing which animal will win what, and relay it to whoever is interested. This is why Carface is so successful in the gambling world. It's because the animals themselves rig the human stuff. Kinda bizarre, but actually not a bad idea. So guess who's interested in taking this cash bag?
I don't understand that you're being held here against your will. Let me introduce myself. Sit. I am Charlie B. Barkin, and this is my associate, Itchy Ford, Itchy Doxa. Mr.
Hey.
Itchy to you.
How you do?
And it strikes me that this is not that kind of place for you, am I right?
Oh, well.
Well, let us take you away from all this. Where are your parents?
I'm an orphan.
She's an orphan. She doesn't have any parents.
So now Charlie is willing to scam a little girl into thinking he's going to be a better guardian, when really he's not much better than Carface. Well, to be fair, at least he's not Carface pulling an Arlong.
I love that girl.
If you know what I mean. But he's not parent material, and he doesn't quite show it for a long time. In fact, that's kind of the problem with Charlie's character development. This is supposed to be him going from a con artist who only cares for himself to someone who learns to care for others, while still being a con artist. Hell, even Will Stacks from the new Annie movie had better development this way since he continually showed concern for his adopted child a lot more. For this movie though, let's just say the growth doesn't start until around the third act. For now, enjoy Charlie lying even more to this rather adorable child for about 30 minutes.
What'd you say?
You sound just like Mr. Carface.
What? He's a criminal. Did he read your stories? I mean, did he give you a comfortable bed? Did he kiss you goodnight? Geez, I mean, you're talking to Charlie here. I rescued you. And besides, we're giving the money to the poor.
Boss!
Sharing it with the poor.
You mean like Robin Hood?
Yeah, just like in the story.
Just like in the story.
And another thing. If you're serious about this mommy and daddy business, you're gonna need a little dough of your own. You know, new dresses, new shoes. I know about these things. Nobody wants a scrawny little doll in rags.
Promise? You'll help me find a mommy and daddy?
I promise.
The only thing we can hope for is Karma to kick him later. And I don't mean the concept, I mean this Karma. So apparently this horse, named Chahi, is to win the next derby because it's his birthday. Again, animals rig the man-made competitions. So now they just need some money, and who better to steal from than a couple who I swear I've seen in another Don Bluth movie. Maybe it's the one with the trolls.
What's your name, little girl?
I'm Marie. Pleased to meet you. I'm getting a new dress.
Well, that's nice, dear. Where are your parents?
Gee, I wonder if they'll end up being her adoptive parents later. She gets dragged off to make a bet and... oh no.
I want to make a bet, please.
Really? So many chances to call bullcrap on this charade, and you still can't see it? Or what, is this just his reaction to everything? I want to do a strip dance. I got crabs! I got ads. By the way, I just realized, if this is the late 30s and they're betting that much for those odds, would they be richer than the richest man on the planet at the time? After all, this was before inflation, and apparently no one, not even the jockeys, give a crap that their horses are seemingly acting on their own. You know, dogs I can get doing stuff like this in public, but horses are the last thing I expect them acting out of line. So victory is theirs, which means we get a montage of them getting even more money. By this point, they're so rich, they could run their own city. Hell, why stop at buying clothes? Give her her own damn house, you greedy dog! What does he use the money for instead? Build the biggest, most awesome dog casino around, because even though one dog was trying to kill you before, why hide it when you can stand out so much that even the humans should be able to notice? Seriously, how does no one at the junkyard see this? My suspension of disbelief can only go so far in this movie.
Hey, Itch, I gotta hand it to you. The place looks great. Hey, what is this? What are you doing?
I'm leaving. You said we were gonna help the poor, and we didn't. You promised to find me parents. You didn't even look.
Oh, now you realize he's a big, fat, stinking, lying doo-doo.
What a selfish, callous cad of a heel-out bit. Blind to the needs of our society's lowly unloved. Thank you. Thank you for helping me see the light. Squeaker, we're going out and help the poor.
Oh, Charlie.
I can't even be mad at you for being so naive. But seriously, learn to take a hint. Not everyone is deserving of your kindness if they're taking advantage of you. And it's sad to say that I'd much prefer liking Carface as a character than I do any of the other dog characters so far. He's rotten, but damn it, he's a joy to watch just because he's grade A mafia material.
Ow, ow. A Flash Gordon thermo-atomic ray gun, boss.
A ray gun.
Or it could just be me being happy over the fact that I'm watching a movie that doesn't have a cat villain against main dog protagonists. As for Charlie, well, he attempts to show he's learned something about sharing by visiting his old girlfriend, and either orphans or her children, because how many dogs do you have to bang before they come out in this variety?
Only a pizza, fellas. Come on. You mind sharing? No, come on, don't fight. All right, I'm gonna tell you something about sharing. What's mine is yours. What's yours is mine. The more you share, the more the sun will shine. That's it.
No, not feeling it. In fact, I learned more about sharing in that Juicy Fruit commercial than I do with this movie.
There's nothing more important under the sun.
But caring is sharing, it can be fun.
Anne-Marie finds out that Charlie had stolen money from that nice couple, and appropriately is upset about it. This results in a rather nice song sequence that, while performed by Lana Beeson, it's still enjoyable.
In my mind, how it would be if we were together. Let's pretend that you're far away. Let's say you write to me. And you promise in your letter that you'll come home.
I mean, given everything she's been through and all the crap she has to put up with given her own unique ability that forces greedy people onto her, you do feel for her and her desire for a real home. She's more than deserved it at this point, since aside from the two humans from before, how many characters have ever been nice to her? Okay, besides the church dogs. And because we haven't seen their interpretation of hell yet, how about some nightmare fuel?
You can never come.
Now this is what I'm talking about. Freaky dark imagery from a man who knows how to make it look presentable. Seriously, this is freaking scary. No kid can resist being spooked by the giant devil dog and his minions, or the fact there's a boat on lava. The sequence is so well animated that it makes it more effective. This is Don Bluth nightmare fuel at its finest. Sadly, this is just a dream, so no burnt dog yet. He learns Anne-Marie ran off to find the couple he stole the wallet from, and however she did it, she found them, and is rewarded with waffles.
You like waffles?
Yeah, we like waffles. Do you like pancakes?
No!
I don't have any parents.
Then where do you stay?
With Charlie in the junkyard.
Oh my. Anne-Marie, you sit right there. Honey, come with me. We can't let her leave here with nowhere to go.
Well, it looks like these two really are interested in maybe taking her after hearing that somber story. But Charlie has other plans.
Oh, Charlie, Harold and Kate are really wonderful. They weren't upset about the wallet. They gave me real waffles with butter and syrup.
Really? Well, I just came over to say goodbye.
Goodbye?
Yeah. Well, I guess you won't be needing me anymore.
Maybe you could stay too.
Stop complimenting him. He's a terrible influence on your innocence. If you leave with him now, you'll be throwing away any hope of... Don't! Ugh, didn't think I'd had to resort to that so soon. Oh, and remember that ray gun killer mentioned?
Hold it. And goodbye, Charlie.
Oh no, Charlie! Charlie!
Oh, you beautiful little ticker.
Even with Don Bluth, you can't get around the FCC without changing a Tommy gun into a ray gun.
I'm surrounded by morons!
They escape into an abandoned costume shop with a rather weak foundation, as they fall through and end up being captured by... tribal rats? And they're about to sacrifice the two to their sewer god. One big-ass gator. I honestly cannot make this stuff up if I tried.
How can you expect me to eat a voice as sumptuous as this? When I hear a dulcet tone like that, it gives me a big thrill. I can't eat a singer. I never could. I never will.
And here we go. The one song in the movie that helped spawn a massive trope.
Oh, that voice, little fella. That a baritone or a tenor?
It's,
Oh, I don't care. It's just you and me. Let's make music together. Let's make sweet harmony. Oh, let's make music together, baby. You take the dough, I'll take the ray. You better hang on to me.
Yeah, now, to be fair, given what happens, it doesn't quite fulfill its own trope entirely, but I still need to talk about this. It's one thing that they decided to include a sewer god of all things, but to have that thing take a liking to a character who howled out of desperation, change the scenery into something out of Broadway, and go into a song like this? You never would see it coming. While the gator does return, no one ever brings up this particular event. No one mentions how they were just singing with someone who wanted to eat them. It just comes the funk out of nowhere, and no one ever mentions it within the movie's plot ever again. It's stuff like this that helped coin the big-lipped alligator moment, because even for this movie, it just seems totally out of place. Anyway, Anne-Marie catches pneumonia, which will put her into even more trouble later. They return to the church, only to find out from Itchy that the casino had been ransacked by Carface and his thugs earlier. And unfortunately, this is the part where we see the last, yet the worst of our hero's bad character development.
But I stay because I'm your friend. But tonight, Charlie, he tried to kill me. He tried to kill me, Charlie, and you was out gallivanting with this girl. I say we should lose the girl, get out of town, Charlie, you and me, and call it even.
Oh, Itch. Now the casino's gone. We gotta start all over. We need the girl more than ever.
No, boss, you're crazy. It's not business anymore, it's personal.
Oh, come on, Itchy. Sure, it's just business. I mean...
You're in love with the girl. You've gone soft. You care about her.
Look, I don't care about the girl. I tell her things now and then. I pretend to be her best friend, but it's baloney.
I thought I was your best friend.
You are my best friend. With her, it's just business. It's always been business. I'm using the girl. And when we're done with her, we'll dump her in an orphanage.
Now, Itchy isn't as bad as Charlie in this case. But either way, they're both incredibly selfish. Itchy, just because he's somewhat of a coward, but Charlie? Oh boy! He's just so bad at showing any sort of passion or care up front that this bit almost seems appropriate for his character. A liar who cares for himself and will use anyone to get his way.
You're not my friend. You're a bad dog.
Oh! Thank
you!
Carface ends up kidnapping her off screen, leaving Charlie to go after them. In the meantime, Itchy is asked to go find the human couple and let them know what's happened, leading to a bit similar to 101 Dalmatians. Before eventually finding the two, they figure out Anne-Marie is in trouble and contact police. Meanwhile, Charlie finds Anne-Marie and has to confront Carface and his goons, and naturally gets his butt handled but ends up howling to unintentionally summon the alligator. Oh yeah! Okay, so with him free, he goes to confront Carface for real this time. It doesn't quite last long since the gator bumps into the ship a couple times, once to free Anne-Marie, but that also starts a fire, and twice to shake Carface off of Charlie, aka get a meal. So now, due to circumstance, Charlie has to make a life-breaking decision. Figured he would. And thus, with Anne-Marie safe, Charlie eventually dies off. Everyone arrives just as Killer saves Anne-Marie. Okay. And she's taken into the couple's home where it looks like death is coming to her door. No doubt symbolic for her real-life tragedy. But really, it's just Charlie coming from hell so he can give his final goodbyes. Before heaven shows up to say he can come back after all. Because why not?
Charlie.
Yeah. It's me. How you feeling, kid?
Okay, how are you?
Well, I come to say goodbye.
Where are you going?
Just on a little trip. Listen, Squeaker, I want you to do something for me, all right?
Uh-huh.
I want you to take care of Itchy. You know, just while I'm gone. You got a home now, and he doesn't have anybody.
Don't worry, Charlie, I will.
At least until the sequel. Then you're scot-free.
Charlie, will I ever see you again?
Sure. Sure you will, kid. You know, goodbyes aren't forever.
Then, goodbye, Charlie. I love you.
Yeah.
And so Charlie is allowed back into heaven where he can finally rest in peace.
Hold it, hold it. I know we're dead up here, but so's the music. Come on, beat it up a little bit.
Honey, you know it.
Well, at least it won't be a boring afterlife.
Get that gator! If it's the last thing I do!
What the fuck? They're here? For this douchebag?
Shut up.
I said, touch that clock, and you can never come back!
You'll be back.
I hope not. After all he's done, does he even deserve it? So to answer my first question, they abuse the good dog trope by bending it in such a way so that even the bad dogs get rewarded. In this case, a free trip to heaven regardless of whether or not you murdered someone. What a load of crap in that regard. As for the second question, yes. There are plenty of signs that this would be where things go downhill for Don Bluth. And yet, somehow, this movie was still entertaining. It's a weird thing, really. While it doesn't hold up from what I remember, the movie still holds on to what made earlier Don Bluth movies so good. It's got the light, dark tones balanced out to a point. Its story is a rather unique one, even if it's not that good. There's some funny moments here and there, the animation is still really damn impressive for the time, and the performances were really good. The problem is that the writing shows plenty of plot issues regarding how heaven is pro-dogs, regardless of affinity, the main dog characters being unlikable for a majority of the movie. It's just, it could have gone so much better if the jerks were the fun kind of characters you can dislike, while seeing them grow into much better people. But alas, this movie just becomes another example on how not to do a good dog movie, because even when bad dogs exist, they still win. I'm the Media Hunter. Media's my prey, and reviewing them my way.